Hi, Dean. How are you doing?
Yeah, well, same old, but yeah, just making every day count, I guess.
I've
Yeah.
been looking forward to this and finding out more about you
Well,
and about your job. I feel like we need slides to come across with like at this point it should come across now. So all about Dean interview, and then a slide come across go Dean's work. How did you get the job working for Disability Arts Online, and how did you find out about it?
basically, I got a call from Lucy, who's like my agent and my knock at Accessor Areas, and she said, "Hey, Dean, have you heard about the leadership roles that's happening in but meeting with Accessor Areas?" And like, yeah, I'm like, at first I was a bit like, oh, how is it going to benefit me? And then she said like, oh, it's an actual good, it's a good job, and it's paid as well. And you can, and I was like, okay, you got my attention, so I'll go check it out. When they interviewed me for the first one, it was like I didn't really come up with anything because it was like, oh, what I kind so deep down, I kind of wanted this one. And then I went to the disability arts one. And I think that's where I met Colin, Joe, and I think Trish was there, and that's where I met them. And then when they interviewed me, I was able to just tell them everything that I'm into. Yeah, I like using media, social media, this, that, and I think that's kind of what you know got their attention. They were like, yeah, and then almost started late, but better late than never. And used to have these like sort of phone interviews with Colin and all that, and yeah.
That's awesome. It sounds like you were perfect for the job when everyone met you.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
Dean, because I'm old now, I'm not quite 50 yet. But y- can you tell us older viewers what is a digital influencer? Because we still don't all know what that is. So tell
Yeah,
me all about it, because it's
I
that's
mean,
what you do.
thing is, it's one of those open things. A digital influence is like, if I had to compare it with something, I'd compare it to like a front man of a band or something. Who sort of like he's the one who's like the one who gets the audience hyped up and the one who gets the energy going and like everyone, how's everyone? You know what I mean? Like when I went to Bloodstock Fest and all that, there was what was it? One of the front people of I think it was band Nightwish. Yeah, she was like, "How are we doing, Bloodstock?" It's kind of like that, like kind of do influences people and like sort of it's like someone saying like donate now or check out our website, and so I mean it's someone who encourages, it's like the one who advertises everything, you know what I mean, something like that, and share, and introduces people, brings people together. And I've been
Oh,
known to be bringing people together, not just in like my job role, but like in other parts as well.
so it sounds like a lot of your job is about being out the front and getting everyone's attention to let them know what we're doing, I guess, at
Yeah,
Disability Arts Online.
something like that. I mean, I don't know if I can't really put an actual fixed label on it. It's not one of those things like, oh, this is where labels really start to become a problem.
What have you done with Disability Arts Online so far?
I was tasked with like taking care of the trailers. Basically, whenever there's a story or someone's in the article or someone's what I mean come out with something or release something, I'll just pick out the ones that I know that will be of interest to people.
That's awesome. So you promote what we do, but it sounds like also you have quite a bit of power over what you draw attention to and
Yeah,
also
and
knowledge about what people will be interested in.
yeah, and then of course I do Instagram takeovers, and also there's things in the pipeline that like they're trying the Colin and all that are trying to get me to give me access to their YouTube account so I can share on there. And so I almost feel like I'm becoming like the DJ. You know what I mean? Like I even I said to people like I feel like I'm the Howard Stern of like disability arts online, but except I'm a lot nicer than he is.
Hell yeah, you're way nicer. So, slightly different question.
Mm.
Why is it important that autistic people and learning disabled people work in arts organisations?
Because well, for starters, we're humans as well, and we can do the same things that other people can do. The thing is, back in the olden days, everyone thought like every time they saw someone with like disability or like autism, or they had a disadvantage, they'd think, oh yeah, they're not going to be able to do this. They can't. I mean, it's like we're in them days. It's like every time they wanted someone to like be someone, they wanted them to know every detail, not know everything, and they think, well, people with disabilities, they might not be able to do that, or they can't read, or this, they can't do this, or that shit. But I mean, that's why, like back in the day, they used to they had an interpretation of what like autism is. Like they like, for example, in Rain Man and eating Gilbert Grape or something like that.
How much is 4,343 times 1,234?
5359262.
He's a genius, right? He's a genius.
Sometimes people call it cripping up for the camera, and they all get awards as well. So this is my last question about work. What has been your favorite thing about working for Disability Arts Online?
Oh, that's a tough one, because there's been a lot of favorite things, but I'd say it would be the Instagram takeover. Well, that'd be the top favorite, because like I'm able to let people into like my point of view on how I see the world, and like what I look at as like creative, or see things that people probably wouldn't see as creative as such.
We were getting hundreds of hits on your videos and posts.
I know, it's almost like because I gain a lot of followers, and the same because of me. So yeah,
I noticed that when you were saying about when you went for this job, that you were surprised that it was a paid job. And why is that?
I think back because 2019, like I had all the time in the world, but I was broke. I was just like, I was trying to look for work, and it was like really tough. And I was like, and then I had an unpaid acting job, I think in 2019. It was with Black Cab. And I played one of the father roles in Winged, of like Icarus and all that.
Wow.
This fleece that I'm wearing, this was made specially for that, but they let me take it home. They let me take the rest of it home, but they let me take the like trousers and this home. So I thought, okay, that's fair enough.
That's a nice one. Yeah, I think often we're asked to work for free, aren't we, or be involved for free in projects. Okay, this is where my imaginary slides come back. We have the slide. Section 2. Personal questions.
Yes.
Not too personal.
Yeah.
It's
like Wikipedia, personal life.
Oh, it is. Oh my gosh. We need to call it our wiki on Dean.
Yeah.
This is so cool. So my first question is, what do you like about where you live?
Well, what I like about where I live is that it's I've got neighbours who don't give a shit. Like they won't like give you, you know what I mean? They're quite nice. I mean, there's even a neighbour who's next door who's known me since I was a baby, and I still say hello to him or his wife every now and then when I see them. And yeah, it's a bit more a little bit peaceful, because like no one's gonna bother you around here. And just, I mean, it's a bit of a backyard as well, because we've got a gate now, so you can kind of go out there and just have a smoke, have a think, and just look at the sun, even in lockdown. But yeah, what I dislike about where I live is that it can get a little rough sometimes, and I don't know, just like, I think because the fact that I'm sort of still living with my folks and all that, I think like, I need to get out of this place, I need to have my own, yeah. And of course, the other thing is that there's a lot of schools, because there's a school right around the corner from me. And usually, well, I mean, I don't know if it's open yet, but usually when it's open, like there's a lot of kids coming up the road, and that's why I'm usually like wait till they've gone in, or then that's because usually I mean, the thing is, there's two rush hours. In my mind, like there's the main rush hour where people coming from work and all that. Then I call it the anarchy hour because all the school students are coming out and it's a bit mad and they're loud and yeah.
That's a good name for it. That's what I'm gonna have to
Because
start
like
calling
in
it.
the
That.
work rush hour, like it's just jam packed and everyone's just like too close to you and you get claustrophobic and all that. But with reason why I call it anarchy hour with the school students is because like a lot of them are loud and like it's like you know what I mean. It's like a pop punk party. You know what I mean.
When did you become interested in music?
When did I become interested in music? It would have to be like probably when I was around 10 or 11, I think. I mean, it all started with like, I'm in the car with my parents and they're playing Magic Radio or Heart Radio. And I'm hearing all these like songs, old school stuff, pop from them times and rock. You know what I mean? I think that's what got me like into it. So I thought, oh, I want to hear these songs more often without the DJ having control over everything I listen to. So I was introduced to like, listening to CDs and on headphones. And I thought, oh, I quite like this. This is my hobby now, I think it all started was like, because I saw Queen Bohemian Rhapsody on the TV and all that.
I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, will you do the fandango?
And I thought, this is interesting. I think that's kind of where it started. And then a few years later, I think, like when I was 14, I got into Marilyn Manson, because I was 14 and I saw him on the TV because I liked, I think it was the song The Nobodies, and he was dressed as like this sort of man with horns and all that, like a devil-like person, and the other character was like, he had sort of bald and what, and had like thorns in his hair and all that. Which I kind of like got into. I thought because I loved characters and pointy ears and like things that weren't really human. I'd be into that.
What is the coolest thing about being a guy who likes getting dressed up and made up and doing your hair to go out and party?
And that, I guess that would like, and also like, I think it's when walking out, like getting the public transport and having people stare at you. Because like, for example, like Slam Night, that would start at like 11, and finish at 7:30 in the morning. But you could arrive there at like 3 in the morning. And like, just get a night bus there and
oh, nice.
Yeah. And sometimes I'd even like do like two or multiple things in one night. Like there was one time, I think I went to this place in what's that place in what's that place called? I think in Croydon, Funhouse. Went there, and I think that's where that picture of me in like the ball pit and all that. I took that selfie there, and
nice.
and then afterwards I went to Slime. Like got the bus there. It was quite a bit of a journey, but I still made it anyway.
I really miss going out with my friends. I used to go out to some alternative clubs, and a lot of us know each other there, and there's something really special about just being amongst those people in the funny clothes we like to wear and the over the top makeup and the ridiculous corsets and the stupid shoes that really only wheelchair users should use because no one should walk in them and all that sort of thing. Oh, I do miss that. I can't wait so we can do that again. Okay, so we're going to bring back my imaginary slide. Arts questions. So, Dean, what do you like about photography and digital arts?
Well, I like the fact that you can, capture. If you see like things back in the olden days, it was quite hard to sort of capture things because of the technology. But now you can just whip out your phone or device and just capture it. Like, for example, I finally saw the Twilight, not the movie, but like the Twilight Zone, where like it's changing from like day to night or vice versa. And I think it was early in the morning. Yeah, I noticed like that side was. I think I posted it actually. That's the east side was light. The west side was completely pitch black. You know what I mean? And
Wow.
you could actually see the line separating the two. It was almost like the Earth had become like tidal locked. And we were in the Twilight Zone. And one side was constantly daytime, the other was constantly nighttime. But however, that is true in some cases. Like if you lived in like on the hemisphere, like for example, Greenland or Antarctica, you like in the winter and summer seasons. In the summer season, it's constantly daylight. Winter season, constantly nighttime.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
tricky.
Whilst with the rest of us that are nearer to the equator, we have the advantage of having days and nights, except in the winter and summer, they're either shorter or longer.
You make some digital, you do some moving photography, don't you? Digital movies.
Oh yeah, I use like Boomerang as well. Like that's probably like my favorite animation, like moving side by side. Yeah. So I did one for my first Instagram take when it was like raining, sort of the raindrops going up and down, up and down.
So my next question, that's all right, is when did you find out about disability arts, and what disability arts do you enjoy at the moment? Were you doing other stuff relating to arts and disability before through Access All Areas?
Yeah, I was. I mean, like I said, I was an associate artist, so I didn't really have. Usually, I'd be like, it was kind of like an ad hoc thing. Like, it's almost like, like if they needed you for something, they'd call you. If they got something, oh yeah, I know some guy, and they'd just call me up and say, okay, With me, I was like what we call like a jobbing performer. I'd always like take every like opportunity that came my way, check it out. Even if I like said no to it, I'd still like check it out before I judge. You know what I mean? Like see what it's all about and do my research on it. And if it goes over me, I'll be like, okay, this might benefit me in some way. So and take every. Basically, I said take every, because usually sometimes even if the opportunity is not so much beneficial, it might sort of lead to something else and someone noticing you.
Yeah.
That's how people get around usually. But usually with the like some of the like Spring Back and Black Cab sessions, in a way it was okay, but sometimes it felt like we were in like a children's drama group in a way. It just felt like that.
Yeah.
Just because that's why in the end I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look for like work and trying to up my game here. I'm trying to like move on with like my life, trying to there's somewhere I'm trying to get to, and this is not really getting me anywhere. So I said to like Alex, who was one of the coordinators of it, who works for Access Areas, she went sort of like sat me down and asked me why, and I told her my reasoning, like, and this is it's just I'm just not feeling it. It's almost like taking me back there, because I'm not gonna lie, I never really enjoyed school, and I don't think anyone did, but I certainly didn't. I never was the most loved one at school. I was probably the most probably what they call the outcast, the reject, and the loser. So yeah, when I went back, when I went to Black Cab, it kind of just reminded me of that. And I'm busy trying to, get somewhere in life, and this is just sort of taking me back.
And it's very difficult, I think, if you've been at special school, because a lot of the experiences there just train people to get used to being patronized. And if you're no good at that, then
yeah, that's the thing. Like
struggle.
Everyone at that school, like especially the teachers, like a lot of them were quite, manipulative and gaslighting. Because I think it may not see. They might see that. Oh no, I was just showing you. That's the thing is when it comes to manipulation and gaslighting. That's exactly what they'll do. They'll even when you notice it, yeah, they'll up their game and try and use another tactic on you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's only just nowadays that I've kind of come to my senses and realised, oh no, they're just keeping everyone afraid. It's almost like what Axl Rose said. It's like, all I got was, you know how much we love you, but let's just keep the screws on and keep you down like we always have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think you completely nailed that, Dean. Completely nailed that. It's about learning to stay segregated.
And also,
so if you're no good at that, then you will always get picked on.
And also, like, because I was one of the few students who integrated at a mainstream school, I like got a taste of what other schools are like. So I mean, like I knew like this isn't the only way. There is other ways, like So I had a different. So it's almost like my point of view was expanded and all that. Like I was introduced to a new way of seeing things, and then you know what I mean. So it was almost like I was able to compromise as well.
So this is my last question. Which mainstream disabled artist have you personally found most inspiring?
Probably Robert Smith, because like when I sort of got into him, like I've noticed he had the same sort of like personality as me in a way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that's so lovely.
I mean, it's probably a few that I don't know about, but like he's the one. He's probably the main one who's more influential to me than the others.
Yeah. It's very sort of characteristic of Rob to have his his sleeves down and his hands
sort of does that. That is,
and he can't stop touching his face, which is one of the things I struggle with.
And at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he was like
literally the hands are in it.
Yeah, and he's like he gets a bit shy and all that, and he's what I mean. He's like I don't like talking about this and all that. Yeah.
Hey, how are you? I'm Carrie. It's so nice to meet you. Hi. Congratulations, The Cure Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees 2019. Are you as excited as I am?
By the sounds of it, no.
Oh no! What are we gonna do?
I'm sure we'll get there eventually. It's a bit early, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it is. Maybe we just need a few drinks.
God forbid.
So yeah, and he's everyone calls him the King of Goth.
Yeah, he is.
But he's basically
going around with their sleeves over their hands and being like this, being autistic on purpose.
Yeah, he's basically the top idol of like what do you call it? Like the alt scene. Like you mentioned like Robert Smith, The Cure, and everyone will be like, yeah, you know what I mean.
And he's still working hard now, isn't he? I watched quite a recent interview with him.
Yeah. I think he's like 61, 62 now. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it was amazing seeing him.
Well, yeah.
Right? And his hair's still cool. And he still does his makeup.
I noticed how he's got a twin in the band as well, Simon Gallup, who had the same big hair as him, the bass player.
Yeah. They had the coolest hair. I always wanted hair like him, and I wasn't allowed. And that's again probably why I've spent my entire adulthood having ridiculous hairdos as a rebellion against all that sort of stuff.
I mean, I've got friends your age who have got like punk hairstyles and mohawks, and even got a friend like he's in his 40s and a bit taller than me, but he's got like long hair and dresses as a vampire all the time. And
wow. Well, Dean, thank you so much for talking to me. It's been fabulous to see you today and ask you lots of questions. And what do we say at the end? Oh, say at the end, peace out, because that's your catchphrase, really. So shall I let you finish it?
Peace out.